And welcome back to Tabletop Goodness. Today we're looking at the brand new Battle Bundle for Splat Box. This replaces the previous Splat Box, actually, that they had, and contains 3 pre-built decks for Sol, Mars, and Luna. We're gonna look at all 3 decks, some of their strengths, as well as the upgrade paths, but also what's inside the box. So let's get started. Okay, so here's the Battle Bundle. As you can see, we do have actually 3 pre-constructed decks. We have Sol with the Gold Hive Mind, we have Luna with the Moth Militia, and we do have Mars with Sword of the Swarm. Okay, let's open this up. And I really actually like this splats here on the front. They're nice and reflective as well. Very shiny. Okay, so there we go. Okay. We do have our 3 decks here. Ooh, look at this. We got our devotion tracker here. Let's see. Very nice tracker. 80-20, basically to count up your devotion. Let's put it over here. We got our 3 decks. And we do have a Learn to Play guide here. Very good. Let's see whether... Yes, that's also the latest version that's actually available on the website right now, which is fantastic. And we do have this paper playmat here, which seems to be the same playmat as my playmat here as well, in paper form. Okay, very nice. And I'd say let's have a look at the first deck. We're gonna start with Sol here, actually. Okay. As you can see, actually, maybe to get that a bit closer still, we do have the 3 avatars here. Okay. Let me quickly open that up. We have our old art avatar, which looks very nice and shiny. And let's get started with the deck. We have Arms Tunnel here, which is a very nice location, which basically gives you... once per turn, make a unaligned lava recruit token, which are the new tokens in this set here. We have Blinding Light here. We have Bolster the Ranks, which also makes lava recruit tokens. Very nice. 3 of them. We do have the Brittle Beam, which basically is an insta-kill for the armor and weapon of one, well, basically you can instantly splat one of them, armor and or weapon. And we have Defensive Stance here. We have the Eclipse Forager. We have the Goldfield Hero. The Goldfield Hero is actually like one of the more standout cards here. It's actually a rare. We have a rare here, Stomp. This but can't be targeted by enemy action cards. So actually very nice, and we have only 1 of them. We have the Goldfield Security here. This is one of the staples of Sol, which is a Beetle Warrior with Swarm and Hardshell. We got the Holy Roly here as well, which gains 1 devotion value if a bug is being played, which is very nice. And we do have the Honey Elixir here. This one here says, splat this item if it's equipped, target bee or stinger on your field gains +1/+1 and +1 devotion value until end of turn. You may activate this ability at quick speed, so very nice to buff one of your bees on the field, or stingers. And since this is built around that, I think this is actually very nice. We have the Mining Bee Scout here as well, quite a few of them. We do have the Northern Gold, another staple here, which basically, if played from the Hive, you may draw a card, so that basically lets you rotate, or actually lets you up your hand very nicely. We have the Queen Lana here as well, very nice rare. When you play a bee, make an unaligned lava token, and you can actually use your lava tokens here to draw a card as well if you splat 2 of them. And then you get some actions like Rise of the Maggots, which I think is very nice, which again makes 4 of the lava tokens. You have the Shard Cluster here, which is their kind of version of Mana Rocks. It gains you a neutral dust if you exhaust it, as well as if you splat this item as well. We have the Solarian Charm, which is the same kind of Mana Rock, but just for solar dust. And we have the Solarian Stinger here, and we have the Stinger Patrol, And let's see, we have the Swarm Caller Cicada here. When this bug is played from your hand, bugs in your hand, and Hive gains Swarm until end of turn. Very nice, as well as the Swarmborn Matron here. When this bug is played, you may splat X Lava Recruit tokens, and if you do, search your deck for a B with dust cost X or less, reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So basically, this gets you quick access to your Bs. We have the Tainted Candy, which is the insta-kill for a bug. Insta splat in Shoutbox case. Okay, so that's actually very nice. As you've already heard, there's lots going on for drawing cards, which is very nice for Soul. We can search for bees with some of the cards that we have. We can also spawn a lot of lava tokens. Now, these lava tokens are 0/1 tokens. So they're good for like being easy defenders, but you can obviously sacrifice them as well to trigger certain abilities, which is nice. One of the good upgrades might be Melis, the Budding Queen here as well, which can then do even more with your bees actually that come in because they make things a bit cheaper while it's in your hive, and I'm gonna display that here as well. So this is like one of the things that you might want to look into if you want to upgrade this specific deck here. Okay, the other thing is actually quite interesting, that if you move some of the cards back and forth from your hive, you can gain either cards or damage enemies' devotion. So I think you have to play a bit more tactical with this one. Very nice. Okay, let's clear the field and open it up for Luna. The Moth Militia deck. Okay, let's look at Luna's old art avatar here. Very, very nice. And let's get started. We have the Creeping Water Stalker here, which has Focus and Venom. We have the Crescent Comet here with Swarm and Hardshell. We do have Darkness here, which prevents all damage, which is always quite nice. We have the Duskmoth Priest here. You can gain Devotion by playing this, so there's actually even 4 in there, so that's actually quite nice to have another way to quickly earn Devotion here. You have the Escape Tunnels. You may retreat an additional bug. This guy is super cute. And it makes unaligned lava tokens. And if it's splat, then another bug would get +1 devotion value counter as well, which is nice. So you get 2 functionalities here. We have the Fungal Farmer, which if you control a location, gains a +1 devotion value. We have this guy here, Hungry Hunter, and we actually get 5 of these, so very nice staple here. He has Blink 1, which means if he actually moves onto the field, you will be able to damage 1 target bug with, like, basically do 1 damage. And when this bug is splat, target enemy splats a card in the hand. So it actually has 2 functionalities. I think this is like a very, very nice one here, as well as the Lunarian Ace, actually Swarm and Focus. The Lunarian Charm, that is Luna's version of Mana Rocks. Then we have the Mechanized Infantry, Hardshell, and when this bug is splat, make a bounty token. Now, I didn't find like too many things that do things with bounty tokens, but I think if you would combine that with some of the cards from set 2, there might be actually very nice synergy. We have the Moonlit Citadel here, which again gives lava and moths on your field +1 defense. Very, very nice. It's a location, which means it stays on your field. There's 2 of them. There's also the Fungal Farmer here. Like I said, if you control a location, this bug gains +1 devotion value, so that's actually a very nice synergy if you have that out. Plus, it can make unaligned lava recruit tokens. We have the Moonveil Sentinel, which once per turn, if a bug enters your hive from your field, you may draw a card, so that gives faster access as long as you have this one, which is very nice. We have Morgana the Shadow, which has Camouflage and Focus. Camouflage means as long as it's readied, it cannot be the target of spells or abilities. It has Focus as well, means it can choose who to fight, and when this bug attacks, target enemy loses 1 devotion. Very nice, you only get 1 of those. We have Morgana's Influence still. Moths on your field gain +1 devotion value until end of turn. So you see, there's a lot of things that actually play off lava and moths here, and this is actually what your deck is focused on as well. We have Propaganda, which basically takes off 2 devotion of a bug, but lets you also draw a card. And we got the Secret Stinger, which again has Bounty 1, which makes bounty tokens. So if you need tokens for something, I think this is also quite nice. We have the shard cluster again, neutral mana rock, as well as the silver wing butterfly, which is another one of the staples. And when this bug is played from your hand, you may draw a card. Tainted Candy, instant splat for some of the bugs. So yeah, very, very nice set here actually. It has good devotion values in general. As you can see, there's a 2 here, there's a 2 here, there's a 2 here, there's a 3 here, there's a very nice actually to gain fast devotion, as well as some things that actually control enemy devotion as well. We have Plink to do damage to a bug without even having to attack, as well as Venom, which does damage in -1/-1 counters, which is very good. I think there is nothing obvious to add here. The moths are pretty strong. Maybe you could diversify a bit with different kind of moths, like Moths of Peppered Flame from set 1, I believe that is, or the Larval Spear here, which is very nice because when this item is played from your hive, make a 0/1 Underland Lava Recruit token and splat a Lava Recruit token once per turn. Equipped bug deals 1 damage to target bug. That could be a very, very nice improvement here, especially since you have Plink already, which means you can do a lot of damage without actually having to attack. That said, personally I do really like Lunar Worms, so there's no real worms here, but I would really like to play Wombo Wagons here. Doesn't really make sense for this set here, but I think it's one of the first like very, very nice moth decks that I'm seeing here. Then with that out of the way, let's go to Mars. Okay, and here we go with Mars. That's the Sword of the Swarm deck here. And let's see what this one is about. We do have the old art avatar for Mars here. Looks gorgeous. Okay, we have the Blight Hopper. So this one can actually help you rotate your hand cards. When this bug attacks, you may shuffle a card from your hand into your deck, and if you do, draw a card. So like very, very nice. If you're looking for cards, there's actually 4 of them. Very cool functionality. When this bug enters your hive from your field, you may draw a card. The Colony Scout again helps you to gain cards quickly, which is very nice for an aggro deck, which is usually what Mars is built around. Crater Hulk, which has a stomp here, and this bug gains +1 attack for each other isopod on your field. So this one is obviously an isopod as well. So if you have multiple of those, the better. Invasion Forces, they cannot be put into your hive, but they have Swarm and Aggro, means you can, with Swarm, actually get out a second one. Second bug for 1 less. We have Mabua, Hand of Destruction with Aggro and Fury, and it makes unaligned Lava Recruit tokens. We have Mabu's Decree. So as an additional cost to play this card, you pay X devotion, and you can search your deck for an aligned Ant or Roach with dust cost X or less, reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle deck. That bug then gains Swarm until end of turn. So like very, very nice card. We have the Mandible Saw Blade, an item basically that gives attack up, as well as the requirement that it needs to be blocked by 2 or more bugs. Other ants on your field gain Fury. That means +1 while attack while attacking. We have the Meteor Roughneck here. If this bug blocks or is blocked by a lunar or solar bug, it gains +1/+1 until end of turn. Now, obviously, this is only like really good if you are fighting against lunar or solar decks. If you fight against another Mars deck, this could be problematic. We have the Meteoric Charm here, which is the Mars version of Mana Rocks. We have the Rampaging Roly here, Fury and Stomp. But it's another isopod, so that actually works quite well with the... Where do we have it? Up here, the Crater Hulk. We have the Red Ward Warrior. Here as well, Swarm and Fury, another Hopper, and quite 5 of them actually. Very nice. We do have the Bushleaf Hopper as well. So yeah, you can see that there's actually quite a lot of hoppers. When this bug is played from your hive, it gains aggro until end of turn. Very nice sword cluster. a shard cluster actually, the neutral mana rocks, we have the Supernova. So splat target, Reddit Meteor Bug on your field, target enemy loses 3 devotion. Super evil actually. We do have the Swarm Soldier here. Has Swarm, and when you play another Hopper, this bug gains aggro until end of turn. Yeah, so very, very nice actually. Since this deck is built around a lot of Hoppers, we have Tainted Candy, and here one of the standout cards, I would say, the Plague Hoppers in your hand, and Hive gain Swarm. Extremely powerful for a deck that is actually built around Hoppers, like this one. War March, Meteor Bugs on your field, gain Stomp, so they basically damage the opponent's devotion as well if they block with a bug that does not have enough defense. And then War Profiteering, splat target item or support card that card's controller makes a number of bounty tokens equal to the dust cost of that card. So you could actually use that for your own item as well if you want. So yeah, as I said, built around Hoppers. The Blight Hopper, I think, is like really, really cool because it can rotate your hand like crazy. The Isopod synergy is very, very strong. The Hoppers can push each other, you know, they can gain a Swarm. Plus, they can also gain aggro in theory, and yeah, Swarm with the Plague. So like very, very nice. The only thing that I can really think of as an easy upgrade is the Fanatical Locust out of the second set, which has aggro, and once per turn, when you play another Hopper, this bug gains +1 devotion value until end of turn, because you can actually see that some of the devotion values here are relatively low. I mean, this one has a 3 and this one has a 2, but most of them actually do have 1, so that could be maybe a very good upgrade path if you want to improve on that deck. Overall, I think the Battle Bundle is quite good value. I did open one whole display and did not pull some of the cards that are in the starter decks. Plus, you do get the 3 old art avatars, if this is your thing, right? That said, if you're a seasoned player, this is most likely not targeted at you. It's certainly more of an entry-level product with some collector's appeal, if you so want. In terms of deck strength, it feels like on paper Mars is the strongest deck out of the 3 with, you know, lots of aggro and synergies between cards. I think they really wanted to show off the brand new support for the Hopper species. That's why they also included cards like the Plague. I have the feeling that the decks for Luna and Soul are a bit more balanced in terms of card choices between each other. That does not necessarily mean that they're weaker, I just think they don't pack as much obvious punch as the Mars one. In terms of room for improvement, you know, I think since this is a starter product, it would be great to get actually 2 dice and playmats. You get 3 decks, so if you want to play against friends, you'd have 1 die and playmat each. There are other starter sets for other TCGs that actually have 2-player starter varieties, so I think that's one thing to consider, as well as, you know, maybe adding in a booster, or maybe 3, in order to immediately augment the decks if one wants to. That said, a solid product overall. What are your opinions on the builds and shard bugs in general? Let me know in the comments down below, and until then, see you next time on Tabletop Goodness.